I guess there's always that 30-second
Oh, I
thing
know,
too.
huh? Hello,
Who's ads?
everybody.
Hello, hello.
I like how you have the book propped up there behind you.
Yeah, that's really the only aesthetic thing you're gonna get from me.
My bookmark is there, but I'm not, I'm much further than this. Oh, I'm just kidding. No, I am. I'm pretty much further. What did I say? Chapter 69. Chapter 69. Yeah, I'm not done with this book yet. But Crystal can spoil me all she wants because I don't care. I'm almost there. I have like exactly 1 hour left of this audiobook. I like the audiobook. How do you
Yeah,
feel
the
about the
audiobook,
audiobook?
it's the narrator's fine, and I think she did the ones before. Sounds like I think she did the series for Avatar series when I did my audio reread.
Oh, did
So yeah,
she? Yeah.
she's fine. Yeah, she's just working with material that she can.
I do have lots of notes on this one.
Yeah.
So do we want to just get right into it? Would you rate it?
I'm literally teetering between a 2 and a 3, and I think I might do a 2 just because I'm like, even the last 100 pages were not worth the 700 pages of pain that I went through. And it didn't really make up for the bad. Plus, the added reason as I was spoiled because of the publisher for the ending that I kind of knew based off of the bonus content that we were crossing worlds on here as well. So yes, FYI to anybody, we will be spoiling things as normally in this discussion.
Yes,
But yeah,
there will be
spoiler alert.
spoilers.
As always.
There
If you
will be
haven't read the book,
spoilers even for me because I know there's a multiverse thing happening. I don't know
mhm,
exactly what that is yet because I'm not there yet. But I'm like you. I literally hate this book. Like
yeah,
I hate it. And I think as of right now, without reading the last hour of the book, I'm at a 1. It's bad.
mm,
Like I don't care at all about any of
yeah,
these people. They
yeah. The
annoy the
last,
crap out of me.
yeah, I think because the last 100 pages, that's why it's probably going to get a 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's why I was almost teetering on a 3 because I'm like, was the pain worth getting a 3 to where I'm like neutral about it? Like, no, I'm not neutral about it. I was really mad. But no, I think, yeah, I'm definitely teetering on it too. Um, and then I thought I'm like, this is like my favorite author. Why this? What the heck is? It just goes to show that like even your favorite authors can have a bad book in your mind.
This is
Um,
bad. Like this is
for me,
bad. If they talk about Sunball one more time, I'm gonna throw this damn book like across the room. I don't care. I don't care about Sunball. I don't care about her friends dancing. I don't care about any of the dancing crap. I don't. I just.
yeah,
I. The most interesting character is Danica, and she dead. Like she's dead, and
Rune's a little interesting, but maybe.
maybe I think the best relationship or interactions are definitely between Rune and whoever the girl. I haven't even gotten to the identity of the spy yet.
Oh yeah. Do you want to be spoiled?
Yeah, go for it. Tell me who she is because I'm tired of waiting. Like honestly,
It's actually the Hind.
is it the Hind? She was there at the dance, right?
I was thinking at one point it was gonna be the governor of the angels, but then I was like, then they found her in the
Celestia,
closet at the dance. Celestina or
Celestina.
whatever.
Yeah, but then she was
Yeah.
in the closet with Hypaxia.
Yeah.
So the Hind was waiting by the fountain for
Yeah, but the harpy showed up there first, and so she had to like. She
Oh, that's right.
basically
It was the harpy. Yeah.
she's a double agent, obviously,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So she plays her role very well.
Yeah.
But
That sort of thing. Yeah, I just got to the part where they kind of have like sex in their minds or whatever together. And I'm like, okay.
that was weird.
I,
That
I
was weird. I was like, okay, Sarah, even this is for weird for me.
okay, listen. In every romance, I'm like, let's get to the sexy times already. And in this one, I'm like, ew. I skipped them all. I skipped them all, and I listened to a lot of crazy shit.
Oh, well, I know you've gotten me to read some weird crap.
I this is hard for me because I really liked Crescent City 1. I think I gave it 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars.
I initially did just because of the ending was impactful. Like, oh, I misunderstood who Bryce was. But because of this book, I went back and I changed it down to a 4. I'm like, no, because it was still painful, but I was giving Sarah the benefit of the doubt. I'm like,
This
okay, that ending was awesome.
yeah.
And I understood who Bryce was. But then book 2, I felt like we lost all that progress. She coming across very surface level.
Yeah.
She's like, and I'm like, all there was no dynamics between the characters. It was all men point of view. Like, why is this a sausage fest?
And
Like,
then Bryce is just annoying. Like, "Oh, I don't wanna be" okay, I have so many notes. Okay.
go
Let
ahead,
me get them out because
lay it on me.
some of the things that she would say was like, "I'm an independent woman." I'm like, "No, you're get over it, okay?" Okay, one of my big thing because I don't think anything worked for us in this book, right? Did anything work for us? Any positives?
I like when Sarah finally got to the part that I like about her writing is the impactful like action things of the like her endings are great.
Mhm,
She can write a great ending, but there was just I was realizing the plot. I never really like care like if I love an author's writing, I can overlook things. But this one it was just because the characters were so surface level, it also brought me to be able to be aware of other problems in the book. Because if I love the characters and the plot is still moving in some sort of way, I'm gonna probably love it. I can
mhm.
overlook a few things, but like I loved the writing at the action part. Um, I just think that there was the journey to get there was so painful, and it's still her descriptions and actions is great, but it was still lackluster and not up to SJM level. I think
I feel
so.
like this book was all over the place. Like, it was all over the place. There was no consistent plot, and they would throw things at you, like this whole thing with Sophie and her little brother. I feel like that was such a huge part of the prologue in the beginning and even into the middle, and
Yeah,
they don't
it just
matter.
it was throwaway information at a certain point. We got so involved in all these parties and whatever,
They don't
take it
matter.
out.
And then you
Yeah,
finally meet the little brother, and he's got nothing to do with anything. It was all about Sophie, and then Sophie's dead. It's like,
and then
what is that?
Bryce
What
already knew. She already helped him. I'm like, you didn't even see
she
it. You just
already
get quiet about
knows.
it.
And it just made no sense. Like, there was no point to it. No point to it. There was
So
no point
telling,
to
not showing.
the
Yeah,
whole Bryce and Hunt saying that they're mates because they don't like the word boyfriend. You know what I mean? I was like, that's not what mates are. And then they conveniently are mates, like later on just to make it make sense. And it's just it seemed
I don't know if it's because they proclaim themselves as mates and then they finally do the deed that makes them mates. Like I don't even. I'm
so when you say
how
I'm not
is
your
it
mate
where
anymore, are you just not mates anymore? Because that seems stupid.
it was weird. And I'm like, but yeah. When you
Okay,
find things out at the end, it kind of makes sense a little bit, but it's like it still isn't the same way that like Sarah J. Maas has introduced what mates are.
when you
Or
see mates in like the Actar series, you are expecting these people to be fated mates. And I just
drawn
don't
to each other.
drawn to each other, can't like they've always been whether they knew it or not. You don't feel that with Hunt and Bryce. at all. Like, I don't
no
feel that.
chemistry.
No chemistry, period. He's a wet blanket if I ever Does
Is
he
it the
ever get
writing style,
angry? Does
maybe?
he ever get upset? Is he ever
He
happy?
does. He does, but I think the way that Sarah it was like writing these characters, I don't know if it's because it's the third person that she switched to. I felt like I'm not really in the person's head to even understand it to like this person. Why do I care about them? I'm like, oh, he's angry. You're telling me he's angry because you're a mate.
But I don't
It,
feel it.
it's I don't feel it because you're just telling me, you're not showing me. I'm like, where is the like? Why am I not being like something is wrong with this writing for me
And you're
personally? I'm
in
like,
his
something is
head, you
not.
should feel it.
Hmm.
And that's the other
I
thing.
don't know.
I
Yeah,
like the multi POV of the story. I don't like the way it's done in here because there's 2 to 3 point of views in each chapter. And in the audiobook, you can't really hear it switch. You're just, okay, now we're all of a sudden talking about, Ethan or whatever, which I also don't care. I don't care about
she did
Ethan.
that in Court of Silver Flames, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't remember
Didn't
it
she do
being
that
that
book?
bad, but this is bad. Ethan,
That's when I noticed the switch in her writing style was in Court of Silver Flames.
it's just so hard to keep like I like POVs and I don't mind when it's like
Yeah,
this POV is this chapter and then this POV is this next chapter, but this is just like head hopping to the extreme and I hate that because it's so confusing, especially on audiobook. Like I can see now when I was reading a little bit along with the audiobook, it's separated in the book, but it's like yeah,
yeah, that's
I wanted to DNF this right away. And I tortured myself. And I feel like I'm still torturing myself. I do want to finish it. Like I do want to finish the last hour, but I almost skip a lot.
yeah.
I'm so
My husband was
sad.
getting a kick out of me reading this book. He's like, "Why are you reading this book if you're hating it?" I'm like, "Because now I'm just point, I just hate reading it." I'm just like, I
Yeah.
just want to know because now I
I
need to know what the whole big thing is if it's really what I think it is.
Here's the thing,
So
I'm
yeah,
so disappointed because I thought I would love this book because I have loved every single book that she's written except
yeah.
for the stupid Christmas novella, and this feels worse than the Christmas novella to me.
I've liked all of them at her books actually.
Yeah.
Christmas Novella probably the least, but like all of them I loved.
Yeah.
So it's weird to me.
It's so weird to me, and I don't know if it's just, like, I don't like urban fantasy maybe that much too. There's way too many creatures, way too many characters, way too many houses, way too many things going on that don't make sense. It's just too much. It just feels all over the place, and, like, there was not any, like, clear point of view plot-wise to this. Mm. Mm.
It just wasn't explained well. Yeah.
It's
Um,
so sad.
yeah. And I think also it's like I like spice like any other romance reader. I like usually I want more spice. But there wasn't enough tension or angst or anything. I feel like almost if she would have went and used her YA roots a little bit in the first one and kind of like I didn't even feel the angst or tension in that because as I've heard people say they felt, I'm like I didn't feel anything. I'm like I felt they were just like bros or something. Like why were they even like they? I just feel like if Sarah could, if I would to rewrite this, if Sarah would to um like have the kiss be the main thing at the end of the book after they save each other, and that would be the whole focus, all the build up to that.
Mhm.
And then with this one, kind of build that tension up again. Like they kind of she try to edge you in the beginning about that. They put this weird rule on it. Let's put the weird rule and
The "We're
just
not gonna
build
have sex till
upon like
solstice" rule, and then they're like,
they
"Oh,
want to
forget
them
about it."
trying to yeah like bring this book them trying to deny themselves of their connection and kind of fight their attraction to be together in this book and maybe have the spice towards the quarters mark and that whole part and then realizing they're mates at that point and
Mhm.
maybe that formula she didn't want to do that formula again. I don't know if it's the same formula or whatever, and then just as they found that they're mates they're being separated. That would have been had a more impact for me, I
This almost
think.
feels like a book she was
But
forced to write. Like, she was forced to lengthen it out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
force. I heard, is it true that like she's so big now, like maybe she doesn't have to do, she can take these suggestions as, oh, hi, Becky. I didn't realize she's out there. Hi, Becky.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Seriously, these two, it's like Dumb and Dumber. I just don't. You know what this feels like? It feels like a frat guy romance. Like they feel like they're in a frat house and they're all
This
bros.
is this is what I think a guy would think what we think what fantasy romance is. I feel like that's like a guy would say that.
Yeah.
That's
I
what it
do
felt
not
like. I'm
like
like,
it. It just was
and I
like,
don't like how self-aware the book was either. Like the mentions of alpha holes so many times. I'm like, oh my God, you are not a book community person. Stop trying.
but they're not even I feel like they're not even
He's
alphas. I
not
feel like they're
he's
bumbling
not an
idiots.
he's not an alpha hole. Like he's not. He's broke.
I didn't like the last chapter, not excited about the merge. This, I think, is alluding to the whole multiverse thing, right? So, like, I didn't read the last chapter yet, but I don't care. Y'all can spoil me for all I care. I I
No.
really I
I think I
I just have no feelings towards this book at all other than complete disgust. Other like boredom. I'm bored. I
yeah, the
don't know.
only thing I was excited about was like at the ending, the spoiler is she shows up in what's the world where Rhysand and them are.
Oh,
They're in
whatever.
their world. You figured out.
Pr
You figured out they're in.
yeah.
That's the beginning.
Priya. Gosh,
Oh,
Prithia.
so
Prithia.
weird.
I'm so bad
I
with
think
names.
because of that, I'm like, oh yes, you get to go back to Akatar World. That's the only reason that I think I might not cancel my pre-order of the third book. I'm like, if she can bring me in with this one in Akatar, after that, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy it if you can't bring it back.
I am actually
Like,
canceling my pre-order. I am not buying this book. I don't care. This book has made me not care about this particular story at all. Like I don't care about Crescent City at all. I'm so
yeah,
mad at it. I'm so mad at it. I still like Sarah J. Maas as a writer, but this is not it for me. This is I don't like the urban fantasy portion of this. If they go back to Prithian, I'm okay with that. Exactly.
I don't know.
I feel
I
like
think
there
it's
was
just the
no
way she wrote
chemistry.
it. Yeah. I love urban fantasies and like or technically it's called also contemporary fantasies where it's like literally our world but like magical realism like very common YA. But I'm like I love that fact. But I'm like there's something that with the writing style in this I just didn't like. It was I just felt like the I felt like the author could care less and I felt like I could feel that.
Mhm.
That's what it felt like. I'm like, this is what's happening. They're doing this. I'm like, I just feel like there's no developmental editor on this that like
And I'm so
there was
annoyed
a
by
big comp.
the whole like thing about them doing 9,000 different bonus chapters for every store and you have to buy them all to read all the no. That ain't happening.
That
I
thing
should have
that's
done
what
this.
yeah, right? I should have done that too. Like I told them I should just read the last like 100 pages. That's it. That's all I
Seriously.
needed to know. Because
Seriously.
Baxian, did you get to the part about Baxian and what his name is?
Yeah, he was mates with Danica.
Yeah. So because I
But
told you to skip to that part.
who is Braxian? He just kind of showed
One
up
of
in this book, and I was like, okay, we're adding in another character. I was like, who are you? Uh,
he was part of the Teary guy, Teary of the other rebel people. I don't know. It's really I could care less. I
too
just know
many.
he was part of like basically the rival or enemy of Hunt. That's basically what it was come down to.
I feel like she was like, okay, I want to make this an actual adult novel. So, in order to do that, I need to make it more complicated. I need to put more people in it. I need to get this Game of Thrones style of cast of characters, but she's not good at it. Like in this book, she did it wrong. Like she did not do good at any point.
She didn't get me to care about the character before you
No,
did kill him off.
no,
Beginning in number one. Yeah.
no, no. at all. It's just boo. You know what? It does remind me a lot of like Mortal Instruments, that show, like the feeling of this book and how they're like snarky and blah 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 blah. But I usually like that kind of stuff, like the
Too
banter and the snark and the
funny
not
comebacks. Yeah.
yeah, the comebacks and all that kind of stuff. And this one, I was just annoyed by it all, and I think I had just been so put out by the ridiculous, stupid, pointless plot that every time somebody did something slightly redeeming, I was like, "You're too far gone. You're not redeeming anything."
I think it was the like that's what she said kind of jokes from Bryce every other sentence. And especially like in the certain serious conversations. I'm like, honey, read the room. Like read the room.
She's trying to be
Like
the comic
where
relief,
is where
but she
is that Bryce at the end of book one that is we realized we misjudged her. I'm like,
yeah,
you're just
no. She's trying to
read
be
the
the
room,
comic
honey.
relief, but she ain't funny.
No.
This is true. I don't have I don't have all the stores though.
Even
Like Indigo, I'd have to go to a different state or country for. All be on the internet. I know that, but
yeah, I might. Who knows? I might cancel my I don't know. Well, maybe I'll cancel my pre-order and wait to see what people are thinking about it, and then I'll decide to pick it up from the library or something. I'm so mad.
uh, see,
I'm
I
in the
keep
heat of the moment
thinking
right now.
Danica isn't dead. I keep thinking they talked about the fire sprite. What's her name? So much in the
Lahaba,
beginning of
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, maybe they're gonna bring her back too because she's supposed to be dead. Sophie's supposed to be dead. Is Sophie actually dead? Because I saw her body. Okay. Again,
So
pointless character to introduce. We don't even
that whole
need
plot
her.
point
It
didn't
was
really make sense dragging that out so
unnecessary.
long, just so we know at the end where they get the video feed to know to go to find information with what the Asteria was knowing, like what Danica had Sophie do
So
was to
Sophie's
get into
intel
this like lab area, yeah,
so Sophie's
or
intel
the
is the
archive.
whole point of that plot line?
Yeah, it's so that she can get into the archives, and that's where they go at the end, where they have their big beef with the Asteri, is they go and break into the archives and they find out the secret that the Asteries are just basically parasites taking that's why they feed the starlight. They just exist for the
Mhm.
starlight. And it kind of reminds me of what's that movie where they go to different planets? Um,
Hitchhiker's
oh,
Guide?
something rise. No, something rising. I forget what the movie is. Um, it has what's her name on it. But they go to different planets and they just basically take the lives of people to feed them to make them young. And it's kind of
Oh,
like the same thing that the Styria are doing. They're just going to different planets to be
oh,
parasites and take their starlight and they tricked people. What they did is they tricked people to come to this planet, Midgard, which pretty much everyone there is Fae. They just
mhm,
separated them out to make them be against each other. So Hunt and Bryce are both Fae. They're not,
mhm.
I think, is what they're alluding to. They're not different creatures necessarily. They're
And
different types of Fae.
yeah, he's an
It's
angel
just
fae.
there's
He's an
yeah.
angel-y type fae, and she's like, whatever she is type of fae.
Yeah, I think she came. I think her people came from where Rhysand and Feyre are from. I think
Got
that's
it.
what it's alluding to.
Okay.
So I think, and they also talked about, well, some of those shifters they have round ears. They don't have Fey ears. They're like, well, we bred that out of 3 generations, after 3 generations or whatever. That kind
Okay.
of thing.
I still think Danica is the most interesting character.
And she did.
She lived a double life, really, but she dead. She's dead. And like
And we didn't get to see any of that. Like
we didn't get
we
to
get to
see
see
any of
that.
that, and she's still the most interesting character in this whole story. That's why I'm thinking, I'm like, "Oh, is Danica really dead? Did we see her body? Did we?"
They, I
I don't
think
even
they
remember
just
how
had
she
like
died, right?
maybe
She got
she Micah gave her that drug or whatever to where she basically attacked everyone and then attacked herself and killed herself.
Oh,
like
okay.
ate her
So she
pretty
did.
much, yes, or something. It was weird,
So she did.
kind of gross. Yeah, she did,
Agree.
supposedly.
Lahaba was, or Lahaba, whatever her name is, best
Yes,
character in this. Her and the otter. I'm so sad that
all
the
the
otters
honors are so
don't
funny.
talk at all. So sad. I wanted a snarky otter.
Oh yes, Becky's next comment. Yes, so you don't know this, but when she meets Rhysand, she at first thought it was Rune. So he looks exactly because they have the same kind of like bluish violet eyes, dark hair, and everything.
Mhm.
So I think there's somehow maybe this is weird. I don't know if it's maybe an alternate universe of each other. Maybe they're
Mhm.
the same person, but you're like a doppelganger in another world, or they might actually be related they took if it's true that at the Asteri took and tricked people to come to Midgard, they might be long lost relatives, kind of thing like that as well. So, and direct link
I
on that
kept
way as well.
I kept thinking that either if it like I know there's a multiverse thing happening, but um with the amount of history that they're talking about, like at some points they're talking 5,000 years. Like if those two are connected, then they could be long lost relatives or great descendants of like Reese and all of them too. So yeah, I'm not there yet, but
I
honestly,
can,
again, it sounds plausible that they could be related. Felt like it was just setting everything up for Hofas, then supposed to get another Akatar, so thinking it will all combine. I guess. I I I'm literally after this book, I'm at the point where like, do I still care? I love Akatar. Like I really love it. And again, I think it's because it's more on that high fantasy side. I don't like contemporary at all. At all. And every time he turns his backward, he puts on a baseball cap. It just drives me nuts. Little
yeah,
things
because I
like that.
think I can understand. I'm okay with not fully understanding it if I know that the author is leaving breadcrumbs and like is leading me to somewhere.
Mhm.
But I felt like when people I know there's a meme about this out here where I'm like, it's like the author didn't even know where they wanted to write about. They're making it up as they go along. And like this one, I'm like, I understand what they're talking about when they say this. It's like they're not plotting it out or they're not remembering plot details or world building details. So I'm like, how is this connected? And do I
Or
care because you're not explaining it well or
yeah,
whatever?
or if she is leading breadcrumbs, she's just leading breadcrumbs to nowhere because as of right now, none of this makes sense. These are
She's
just
just
like side stories that don't matter.
yeah, she's leaving breadcrumbs from three different like pastries that don't connect have anything to do with each other and expecting us to understand what it's talking about.
Ex- exactly. They don't make sense. And if you're going to tie it all up in the last book of the fifth book that you're going to take 10 years to write, I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Can't do every 2 years a book. I'm like, I'm so tired of like television shows like 8 episodes taking 2, 3 years for the next season. I'm like, you used to get a season every year and it was 22 episodes. I'm like, books, we should be able to get a year. At least I understand writing. I'm like a year between. But I'm like, indie authors can do it, and I understand the publishing world is different. But every 2 years, I'm like, I'm, by this time, by the time she
Well,
go
I
great
know,
old grave, the whole
like
story's done.
to me, it's understandable with COVID, right? It's COVID times right
Yeah,
now because everything was shut down for so long that it's taking a long time to get ramped back up to that every year point thing. But then the problem is that people overschedule themselves, and now she's overscheduled herself to do two or three more Akatar books and then two or three more Crescent City books, and she doesn't write very fast. So maybe not. Like I don't know. I love ACOTAR.
I
Like I love
think
that series,
the
but do
third
I
book
need
is
more books? At this point, I
yeah,
don't care about Azrael's book. I don't care. Like
I
let it be.
know.
It's like the Tessa Dare book that to be to be read that's going to take 10 years to come out if it ever does. I'm beyond caring at this point now that if it ever does. If it does, that's great. And I'm sure a lot of people will read it, but I ain't holding my breath
I think
anymore.
I think I made a comment to you when we're DMing is has she peaked at Akamath? And because I feel like now I'm just it's only because I'm speaking of the lover of this author's work. And I just feel so betrayed because of it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, where I just want her to write what she wants to write and to give us like what she wants to provide. But I feel like I don't know. I want this Sarah J. Maas I fell in love with Awkward Heart first, and I loved Throne of Glass. And Crescent City just ain't doing it. And I know the third book in Crescent City is the final one for them, supposedly. But I don't
Mm.
know. I just want that feeling again from this author, but I'm just haven't been getting it. And I'm
I
like,
do think
is she
Quarter
not doing it?
Yeah, I do think I loved Aquawar. I also give that 4 or 5 stars, and, A Court of Silver Flames, that one also I gave 4 or
Mhm.
5 stars. I think both of those were really written well. She explored a lot of themes, especially in A Court of Silver Flames, that are really deep, but she did it in a way that's palatable, and she redeemed characters that didn't think could be redeemed in a way. But, Crescent City one was new, and I actually a lot of people didn't like the beginning of that because it's so slow and info dumpy and all. I didn't feel that. I actually really liked that beginning part where you saw her life before, right? Her and Danica together before, and then the moment Danica dies, everything changes. But this one, I think she just wrote a bad book. Like, honestly. Hopefully the next one's
Yeah,
better. She just
I truly think because I gave 5 stars to Core Silver Flames because I think Beck put on that was her fave, but
mm,
I think for me, like it started like it was still a 5-star book, but like I know she tried a different writing style. I think in third person or second, I can't remember which person she did it in that book. But I think is I don't like the shift in the way she's writing. And I feel like because it's different and she's trying something new, at the same time, we're losing the connection with the characters
mhm,
and now and on top of that, plot issues. So I
mhm.
think that's kind of why.
Yeah. Is this part of the ending where Bryce and Azrael are supposed to be mates
I think there's some theories, I think, because Az is the first one to meet Bryce when she
when she
shows up in
lands
a
in
world. 'Cause she
mhm,
develops that talent for being able to transport or whatever you call it.
right.
Um, and I think there's some fan theory saying that Bryce and Az are going to be mates, but I think if Hunt and her are mates, that's not going to happen. I don't think she's going to do the switcheroo that she's known to do with main love interest. I think that I'm hoping, for me personally, Lucian and what's her name, Elaine, are mates. We know that. I'm
Mhm.
thinking that. I'm hoping the same thing with Beck is that Az and Gwen are mates. I'm hoping,
Right, I like Gwen a
but
lot. And Marie and
yeah,
Tamlin, Eris, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always want everybody to get their HEA, but
I want Tamlin. I want that. I I want to see if she can make me like Tamlin by doing like a great character arc because he almost redeemed himself a little bit in Aqua War,
mhm.
um, where you just get that kind of weird because of what Hal did with Feya, like you get that whole like acknowledgement, like with your ex, you're just like, okay, like thank you, that kind of thing, but you kind of
Yeah.
had that,
Mhm.
I don't know.
I know you want Elaine and Tamlin. Again, I don't care.
She fucking perfect for him. He does seem perfect.
She likes garden, and he's
Like,
the whatever of
but
the spring court.
she's made it to Lucian, so she might be perfect for the autumn court too, because
Yeah,
he's
well,
or the summer court. No, isn't his dad the summer court guy?
I
Technically, his
I don't
biological dad, so she might
I
be
don't
perfect
remember.
for him. I don't
Um,
know.
but but here's what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, Elaine, they said that even though they have mates, not everyone ends up with their mates. You can reject your mate. So does it really matter
Oh,
if
that's
they're
true.
mates or not, you know? Like I don't think it really matters who they're mated to. Like it's ultimately ends up being whoever they want to be with. So yeah, Lucian
I think
does
I
deserve better.
yes.
Elaine,
I think
y'all know I do not like Elaine. She has done nada. Okay.
she hasn't been developed, I think, at all. We haven't gotten to see her really on like fleshed out at all. But the whole
Nope.
like mated thing, I just like the fact of fated mates and the fact that I like the aspect of trying to deny that and like the whole enemies to lovers like, hating who your mate is, but then eventually being drawn together. But I can see, as you said, like his what Reese's dad and his mom were fated mates, and he wasn't a good guy, and they didn't like each other. So yeah,
She is a boring chicken. Absolutely a boring chicken. I like she almost has no purpose in the entire series, but maybe she'll get her book and I'm sure my opinion will change. And I'll say that I don't care and I say that I won't read the book, but we all know I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
yeah, right. I wonder like why was Feyre the youngest? I'm like I almost feel like she should have been like the middle child, like the middle child syndrome,
I
and
thought
Lane
she
would have been the
was the
youngest
middle child.
because then it would make sense. No, I think she's the youngest. I'm like it would make sense if Elaine was the youngest and why she's being babied, but like they're not.
I've read
Feyre
that
was the
book
youngest.
so many times and I thought Elaine was the youngest.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn because I remember her talking about that's why she couldn't read because they were already that's why they could read was because they were by the
Well,
time her
they were,
mom
like,
died.
trained to be, like, wives and stuff, so
Yeah, and that's why she never read because she was like 7 when her mom died or whatever.
okay. I have, I think that was the end of my notes that I have. Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot Rune was her brother. I thought he was a love interest, and I got really sad at some point because I was like, "Oh, they're brother and
That's funny.
sister." I guess I guess that line won't be happening. And then
At one point, I was sorry, go ahead.
oh, when Ethan died, that was the happiest portion of this entire book. I was like, "Yes! Yes! Get rid of one of these characters' point of view," and then they just bring him back like it ain't no problem that he just got his throat ripped out, and I'm like, "Damn it!" Like, "Damn it." I thought we moved on from this guy 'cause again, he was just annoying me.
You know it's bad when April is rooting for someone to die.
Right? Like I said, I think I'm pretty, like, easygoing with reviews of books, like, I let a lot of things slide, but when I hate a book, you know it's bad. Like,
Yes.
I don't know why the baby Elaine so
Mm.
damn much. No, you're right, favorite is the youngest,
And there's like I read all at night. It's any more CC though. Yeah, I might
But
just
she
um
does! I think Sarah does know how to kill somebody because she killed some of the monsters, right? They got released or whatever into the heaven. Maybe not actually killed, but she killed some of the people in Akatar, anyways. Like the neighbor that got ripped to shreds because she thought she was Feyre, and then, stuff like that. The dad. She could kill people, but maybe she doesn't
yeah,
know
I
how
think
to kill like main characters too much.
yeah, like main side characters because I think that neighbor was just kind of like a literally a plot device. And the dad thing that was kind of a thing plot device for what's her name? Nesta as well. But it kind of I don't know. I kind of want to wish in that one I could see their relationship more, them interact more before she killed him off. But
Did you
obviously,
ever
it's all plot devices. But
did you ever read Strange the Dreamer
no, I haven't. It's on my
by
TBR too.
Laini Taylor? this, knowing how to kill someone, that this I think Laini Taylor did this very well in that book. Because it was one of there is a character death that comes completely out of left field for me in that book, and I think it was done so well. But yeah, maybe people need to take notes from Laini Taylor. She did. You know what? Carissa Broadbent does this too, and so does Rebecca Yarros, right? This whole idea that the stakes are so high, right? That you could die at any minute. But are the stakes really high because they literally just use magic to bring them back and heal them every time they get hurt? Like every time they even get rid of scars. So it just feels like there's no stakes at all sometimes because you're not like there is like they're just going to get healed again because they're so magical.
Hmm.
And I love Carissa Broadbent's books. But even she does that, like in Serpent and the Wings of Night. I mean, they're in these trials that she's literally getting broken bones from and stuff, but yet she's right in the next one the next day because she's all healed up, you know. And I wish they would stop doing that. I understand there's magic, but there should be limitations like everything else, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. No, that's true. They were side
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't want to be manipulated into it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want it like I want it to mean something. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of they were just destined that it was going to have to happen. They were going to have to die. But I don't know.
Yeah, like my only requirement is the two main characters don't die, right? Like your love interest, especially in a romance. I mean, that's the whole reason why we read romances because there is an HEA. But like the
Yeah,
side characters, come on, kill one of them off at
that's their
least.
game.
Like the main side characters, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. What's up, Maggie?
Hi, Maggie.
Yeah, this book was pure torture. And am I going to keep it am I going to keep it on my shelves? Because I do like Crescent City. I will never read these books again. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna donate them, honestly. I don't know. This is not the series for me, I don't think. And I'm so sad. I'm
I'm
so sad about that.
I'm on the fence still. I'm still mad enough that I might just I know I don't think I'm toying with canceling my pre-order for the third one and then just maybe reading it depending on what people are saying about it and then maybe getting it from a library or something. Because I'm just like, I don't know if I want to pay for it. Like,
Yeah, I
just to
probably
pay
could
that.
use a credit, an Audible credit for the next one, just like I did this one. But again, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
The
like being
problem
able
is
to see
these
the words
books
sometimes. And
The problem is Sarah J's books, like, they always have tons of people that love them and tons of people who absolutely hate them. So I love that about her books that she can have that divide and there's constantly something to talk
polarizing.
about. There's such polarizing, yes, polarizing opinions that there's always something new and a different perspective like everyone brings to it. I love that about her books. But can I do it again? I don't know. What is this on? Listen, Total Blow as bad as Allegiant by Still I remember that book for the death of the MC. I never read this series or watched the movies, but I know that everyone hated that they killed off the MC. And I was like, whatever.
It was for me. I remember reading that. I'm like, it was pointless. That's why it was just a bad ending. And then I think also I like the fact that the movies didn't do that. They didn't kill her off. They switched that ending because
Oh,
I'm
did
like,
they?
yeah, I just feel like for Wyatt, it's just like I like having a happy ending, like
Hmm.
happy ending, like AGA is just like anybody else for like because like it's basically a YA fantasy with the romance plot. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't do that.
I don't want to be hurt, but I want it to make sense. If that, like, I don't want him to be killed off just for plot device, but at the same time, it would make sense for the emotional stakes to have finality to a character, not just to like bring them back on the next page. I would rather have guy wrenching than gut wrenching, Maggie. How do you guys feel about a love triangle where one of them dies? I'm fine with it. I'm
Because
fine with it.
in one of those, we know that in a love triangle, one of them was really the real one.
I would
That's
prefer
who
a
I am.
throuple, but I'll do a love triangle and I will do what a death because ultimately I'm brutal and gotta cut one off somehow. Might as well be through death.
Oh goodness.
I'm in my white shoes phase, okay? Thruple it is. That's why I kept thinking that Therian and Hunt and Bryce, because he calls her legs, right? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember this guy at all. I don't know why he calls her legs. But I could have, that might have been more interesting than in any part of the first 75% of this book, having a little bit of a thruple situation with them.
Well, yeah, because that's what was so annoying about this book is like all of them are just it's all Bryce and the male point of views. I'm like, this is not a why choose. Why is there no other women? Why aren't we seeing Fury or Juniper's point of view? Like, so why aren't you developing those characters? Or heck, what's her old boss person?
Sabine?
But I'm like, yeah, not Sabine, the like her old boss that she worked with at the library.
Something? Jezebeth?
Jezebel or something. But I'm
Jezebel.
like, it felt like every character had a thing for Bryce. And I'm like, come on, guys. She's not that great. Like, not everyone is going to be. We're not in a white shoes, guys.
I don't care how hot you are. Sometimes you're annoying. Okay. And
you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like, come on.
Oh man, best book you've read that has made you cry because of death. Have I cried at a death? I think there's a death in A Ship of Bones and Teeth that I was like, oh. And then Strange the Dreamer, like I said, that one has a really good death for me personally. I would say I was looking at my I turned them all around though, so I can't really see them.
I can't think of one.
I can't think of
sadly,
one.
I think the most impactful one growing up would have been Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The deaths at the ends of those ones. I think because it was my first introduction to like big deaths.
Yeah.
But that's the one I can think of that I was like, my jaw dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anyone else.
Well, what's the not Hellbent, but the other one, Ninth House.
Oh, there's one. Okay, I need to read that
Not
one.
necessarily a death, but something does happen to the main character. That is kind of like a death, and you're like, "Whoa!" And they need to read the second one already. And then let me see, what other ones we got up over here? I don't know. I'm all looking at my books over here. I'm so bad at remembering things.
I can't remember anything that made me. Oh, what about?
Good night, Becky. Have good dreams. I don't read books that make me cry. I actively avoid those books. What about you? If you're like, what books that make you cry?
I don't really cry in books because I have no soul.
You have no soul. I'm just like, I keep myself very compartmentalized.
I'm just gonna say trauma. I'm just gonna say disassociation by trauma. I'm just gonna say that's probably why. But I don't know. don't know
I'm
what
gonna I
exactly.
honestly think A Ship of Bones and Teeth,
I
there's
don't
a
know.
couple parts in there that I wanted to cry about, but,
Yeah,
yeah,
I want to feel the angst, tension, and the chemistry of the characters. And I also want you to make me feel, I want to be gut wrenched. Like, I think Maggie's saying that, like, I want that.
yeah.
But at the same time, I want you to bring it back for me to be where I'm happy at the end. I don't
Just
know.
serious. I'm, like, looking at any of my recent books, I'm like, I do not read books that make me cry, okay? Certainly, Bagged by the Groceries wasn't one, though. Oh my gosh.
I can't think of anything that made me cry.
Again, I with the Karina Halle, Blood Orange. There's a
And that's
character
one I
death
also
in
have to read.
that's it, there's a character death in there that really surprised me. To me, it's more that I wanna be surprised by it. I wanna be surprised by it, I want it to make sense. I never read Harry Potter either, but I've watched all the movies, and I do agree there's some character deaths there, particularly one that is non-human that makes me very sad. Yes. I will not. I will
I
not
will.
read Monocled.
I have it on my Kindle. I just haven't. I heard it's a long one, and I haven't done it yet.
Here's
I've
the
seen
thing.
people do like. I see people do the like. This is me before medical and after. I'm like, I'm scared. Like, are you gonna make me actually cry? Is it
If
gonna be a historic event?
if if you tell me that this book made you cry, I will be like, "That is not a book I'm reading." I know you're talking to the wrong people here, Maggie.
I love. If I need the Rex too, Maggie. I'm like, if I want to be sucker punched, and I want to be, yes, I want all. I just want it, the tension and angsty. I know you don't like angsty that much.
Not I mean, I don't mind angst, but, like, angst for the sake of angst is just annoying. I don't know, I here's the thing. My reading time is my self-care time, and I wanna turn my brain off most of the time, so I don't wanna think deeply about any of these books, honestly. I don't wanna be sad in these books. I don't wanna be angry in these books. I wanna have fun. So, that's just where I'm at right now. To me, and with my anxiety and everything, like, I'll get triggered really easily, and then it'll just ruin my entire night. So, just I don't wanna read those books. Like, I do avoid. True. True. Okay,
Yes,
true.
yes.
That was sad. That was a sad one, I will say.
Is this from that Why Choose
It
that you guys read?
Yes, the Mate Games is so good. Crystal, you need to read it. It's so
Okay.
good. You gotta do the audiobooks, though. The audiobooks are great. They're good stuff. We do need to do
Okay.
some research. Probably,
Oh, you're
Crystal's
talking about
bookish life.
oh, you're talking about
She
oh,
probably has
angsty.
some gut-wrenching ones. See, the gut-wrenching ones I know of are, like, contemporaries, and, again, I don't read those, so like Kennedy Ryan, I
I
could
li-
say.
like Kerrigan Byrne, I felt like the angst, but it wasn't like gut wrenching. But
No.
like I like that's why I like dark historical romantic or noir ones. Is like Maggie did a that whole description of dark
Yeah.
romance, which is great.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I just I want certain things, but like it's dark romances, but it's really common and contemporary. So I kind of want it more in fantasy to give me that gut wrenching and historical romance and fantasy.
The angst and the tension in The Crown of Oaths and Curses is perfect for me because it isn't gut-wrenching, but you feel that
It's so
tension so much. The hate tension. It's not just angst for the sake of angst. I mean, there's reasons these 2 people absolutely abhor each other, but also they're fated mates, so they're truly wrestling that tension that is innate to them, and they don't want it to be. And that
yeah.
to me, that one is, like, not gut-wrenching to the sake I'm not sad about any of that, even though you should be because he's literally killing off her people, like, He's terrible. But
Yeah,
oh, that would be a tension and angst one that I like.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Always has to screw
You get
contemporary.
you
I
get
love
little
this.
things ticking off my fingers. I'm like, yes, this feels like it's perfect made for me kind of book.
Yeah. Have a good
Alright.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to summarize, we both hated this book. And even though I'm gonna finish it, it's probably not getting better than a 2 stars for me. As of right now, it's a 1. It's an absolute 1 star. And I rarely
I
give
think
those. Like, so I think I've given like 3 1-star books. A
this year
Court of Fire and
I've gotten
Starlight
more of
being
them.
the other one.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Maggie's asking if you're just gonna DNF,
If I
I think.
didn't have to read this for book club, I would have. But I wanted to push myself, and instead it ended up being torture. Absolute torture.
Yeah,
It's okay
I
though.
got mine of my audiobook up to 2.5 times speed, and I never.
I was at 2.75 and I tried to go to 3 and I was like, I don't even know what they're saying. I was like, I was like, okay, this is way too fast for me. So, what book do you want to read for next month? Do you have any suggestions?
I
Um,
don't know. Because December, I'm kind of trying to do like really bare bones, no really TBR, kind of mood reads. I have no idea.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I really don't there is one book that I have wanted to read. It is a fantasy. And I've been wanting to read it. Let me find it. Hunt So Wicked by Britt Andrews. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Um, are you in a sci-fi mood?
I'm in like in a winter,
In
either
a wintry
winter
mood.
like a historical romance or like romantic-y kind of mood, or like
Okay.
I'm actually probably going to read an angsty contemporary after this because I'm so mad about once I finish my rom-com that we're reading.
I still need to read Ashes, unless Star Cursed King. I think you have to read that one too, right? Have you read Serpent and the Wings of the Night?
Yeah, I read the second one already. Yeah.
Um, there is a wintry one called A Polar Expedition about a polar bear shifter. We could do something totally different, and I love to read winter thrillers. Like wintry thrillers. Would you be down with that?
I can't do thrillers.
Oh, dang it. Okay. I only have a
I'm a
very
baby. I'm such a
specific
baby.
I have very
Oh, what is
specific
she
taste of
saying?
thrillers. Um, this
Oh,
is the
she's saying
problem.
How to Train Your Goblin King. Is that
Oh, how to yeah. This was a really cute cover. You should look at the cover for this one.
is it How to Train Your Goblin?
How to Train Your Goblin King. Yeah, it's like pink.
What's a gaslight lamp thing?
Yeah, it's
What does that mean?
Gaslamp. But
What
it's
does that mean?
cute. It's cute. I've heard it's cute.
That is a cute cover.
Yeah. And it does have labyrinth vibes here.
Oh, is it doing like a retelling of the Goblin King? I'm guessing. What's it called?
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's that. Yeah. No spice. Great banter.
This is the problem with our mood readers but club. What are we in the mood for? I'm
Oh,
definitely
I
not in
also
the
did
mood for a
have.
long book. Let's do a short.
I don't know how long it is, but I had. Okay, that's an option. That one, and then what's her name from the August from the Romance Readathon? I forget who recommended it. It's Flowers for the Devil by Vlad Gahani. It's a historical romance, and it looks wintry.
Let's do that one.
So,
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
okay.
It's kind of like Russian almost, right? Flowers for the Devil.
Yeah, it's a dark.
Vita. No, not Vita. Um,
That one. 'Cause I was gonna try to read it anyway. That was the one that I was gonna my bare bones.
yes.
But I like the labyrinth idea too. But I don't know.
I want.
She's like, okay, no pressure. It's 452, so it's like a standard historical romance. So.
This one, I have been wanting to read this one because, yes, it did sound really good, but it's also almost 500. It's almost 500 pages, but it's dark Victorian and it totally has the winter vibes.
And I don't know if I forget why can't I remember her name. I think it's her name. But I think she said it doesn't really take in winter the whole time. I think, but like just by the cover
My
alone, it makes me
my
think of
romance
winter.
has no limits, right? Yeah, that's her screen name.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah. Um, yes.
Because
Patricia.
either that,
Patricia.
the one who, or or I was also looking at Anastasia's. That's the only
Oh
other
hell
one
no.
that can.
I cannot. Don't
That
don't
was
make
really long though.
don't
That's when
make
I'm like, don't
don't
make you.
don't make me.
Wait, didn't Maggie read you guys read, what was the other one? That's like a labyrinth one. What was it called? Do
Mm.
you guys read that they did a buddy read for in their Discord?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I have no idea.
Let me double check. It's something bleed. Crystal.
To
Ah,
bleed a crystal
can't remember.
bloom?
That's the one. Did you read that one?
Mm-mm. No, I read the first. I take that back. I read the prologue or the first chapter.
You didn't.
That was good. The first chapter was good. I did not read anything else. I do have a
So
romance,
you're
a space romance that my husband bought me that I need to read called Calamity. It just came out.
ooh,
Um,
okay. Hold on.
that one is on Kindle Unlimited too. Winter's Orbit meets Ilona Andrews. She says she's got a ramshackle spaceship, a misfit crew, and a big problem with its sexy newest member.
Is is that the one by Constance Bay?
Yes. We could do a Claire Kent. What do you think about a dystopian?
I haven't read Clear Kent. Yeah.
Oh, those are good. And they're short.
That might be what we need.
I think we need a short one. I've read like the first two, but they're good. Haven is the first one.
Are they standalones? Do you need to read the first ones?
They are all standalones. So I think I'm on book 3. And it's called Embers. Basically it's post-apocalyptic. 241
241
pages.
pages. Yeah, that's not bad. So it's this
Or
one.
her sci-fi series too is really good. Those are again, these are all like short. Am I in
Which
cozy
sci-fi is
mood?
that one?
I don't think I'm in cozy mood. There's Heart of the Fae, which is a cozy Emma Ham. Or You're So Dead to Me. That's a paranormal by Stephanie Holmes.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that one I'm past the time
We're
period
gonna have
for
to
that one.
think about what book we want to do next. Sounds like.
Yeah, Flowers to the Devil or something else,
Yeah.
or that Claire can. We'll have to think about it.
Or a
But
non romance book. You're like, no. Who do you think I am? You're like,
I read that bad, but not a romance sometimes.
it's just like,
Yeah.
what books do I have to read still? I have
Oh,
Ashes and
fuck.
the Star-Cursed King to read. Some monster romances. I don't know if you do monster romances.
Not in the mood lately for that.
I've
But
never read Belladonna.
ooh, hold on. I think there's one. Hold
There is
on.
this one too. This is a new author, Midnight Strikes
This
by
one.
Ziba Shanaz. It's like it's kind of like a Groundhog's Day type of thing.
Okay. Have you read this one? I heard about this one. It's kind of like a Viking romance.
Yes, I love that one. I haven't
Okay,
read it
I've
in a
never.
really long time, but I loved it.
Oh, that's 541. Well, it's a long page.
It's a
It's
long
a long
one.
page. It's a long one.
It's a long
A
one.
long one.
I don't really mind how long it is. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna read that many books in December, so
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'll have to think here.
we're gonna have to talk about this. If anybody's watching this and you have suggestions, so we do have How to Train Your Goblin King as one suggestion. We're open to suggestions because maybe you will say a book and we'll be like, yes, that's the one. Because right now I'm like,
Oh, I don't. Do we want to do like a tell our name of our new book club, or are we just do an announcement video?
let's just say it. I don't know.
I
I've been
don't
saying it.
know.
Sorry.
Okay, it like mood readers. There we go.
So the name of our book club, we're changing it. Well, we're giving ourselves a name, really. It's the Mood Readers Book Club because we obviously can never figure out what we want to read. And we probably won't know what book we're going to read until the month before. Um, the next Mood Readers Book Club is going to be January 7th.
Yeah,
We're
Friday 5th.
gonna
Okay.
we usually do the last Sunday of the month, but we're gonna push it back just a little bit because of the holidays. So we have time to pick a
No.
book. We'll pick a book in the next week and then we'll send it out.
Yeah. So I think it's Friday, January 5th. I think we're gonna do.
Oh, that's right, Friday, January 5th. We're gonna do it on a Friday night instead of a Sunday. So which works for
And
me.
maybe switch the time to like an 8 o'clock instead of 9 for my time.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be home. So I can jump right on after work. So that'll be perfect. All right, we're gonna wrap this up because I know it's getting late for you. And I need to start getting my family ready for tomorrow. So
That was fun.
this was fun, even though this book sucks. It was fun to talk about. And we'll see everyone next time with the next book, whichever that will be. But it will be on January 5th.
I just don't know what the book is. Well,
We
give us
just
a week, I'm sure.
we'll put it out there. And it'll be on your channel, right? It'll be on your channel next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.